Good evening and welcome to the next webinar in the series organized by Mahatattva. I am Ashima Jairath, Head Academic Excellence and Quality at Mahatattva. I have over 25 years of experience in the education sector in various streams and areas. Like the Indian education system, the process of reporting about student performance has also evolved, moving from the conventional report card with marks and grades to the holistic progress card, which gives a wholesome and comprehensive picture of a student's progress in different developmental domains. So, let's dive deeper and decipher the holistic progress card. We have with us today three passionate educationists from the education sector who will share with us how to create an HPC right from the foundational stage to the senior stage. It is my pleasure to welcome Ms. Harmeet Kaur, Ms. Renu Munyal, and Mr. Rohan Jain. Mr. Jain will be joining us a little later as he is busy with a prior commitment. A B Internet Awesome and School Innovation Ambassador, Harmeet Kaur is the academic head at Silverline Prestige School, Ghaziabad. Her expertise lies in computer programming and innovation, which has led her to implement an automated school operating system in her school. She is committed to focusing on the holistic development of her students to make them future ready by inculcating essential life skills in them. Welcome, Harmeet.
Thank you, ma'am.
Miss Renu Munyal is a Google certified trainer, Be Internet Awesome and School Innovation Ambassador, and is a recipient of the prestigious Global Educator Award. An IT coordinator at Narayana Vidyalayam Nagpur. Her expertise lies in computer science, artificial intelligence, design thinking, and innovation. She has worked diligently to create and implement the holistic report card for the foundational stage in her school. Welcome, Ms. Munyal. It's a pleasure to have both of you here. So now I am going to ask Ms. Harmeet Kaur to take center stage and to tell us about how she has designed and created and helped in the implementation of the holistic report card in her school, right from the preparatory stage to the secondary stage, that is from grade 8 to grade 11. Over to you, Harmeet.
Thank you very much, Ashima ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Today, we all are here to share our experiences and our elements about holistic progress card. So, as the name is suggesting, holistic. So, holistic means the overall impact, overall learning, overall influence of the child, the learning journey of the child. Not only as we conventionally we were only focused on marks, but now we are here to develop the child, the values, his personality, his competencies, and all. So, what impact and influence the NEP 2020 gives in the life of a teacher and a learner? It's talking about 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So, we are tracking the learning journey of a child from its the foundational stage till the time it moves out for higher studies, it moves out for the career options. So, the learning should be not only the rote learning, what conventionally we used to do, it's the playway journey of the child. It's through experiential learning, it's through the toys, it's through the activities which no separation of arts, commerce, and science, no means no textbooks only are required. We need to make the child future ready, so the vocational education should be there from the very beginning. So this we started implementing in our school we need to implement the progressive strategies, the toy work, the research work, the internships. We need not make boundaries around the child. That's what NEP says to us. And we are trying to implement these small strategies, small differences in our school to make the child experience the learning himself or herself. The child is there to reflect his or her learning. Whatever he is getting, whatever he is liking, he has the choice to select that. We are giving them different options. Earlier we used to have only three basic streams: science, commerce and humanities. But now there is no stream system lined up there. The child can select according to his or her interest area. He or she can select the subjects and go ahead with that. And the earlier we have the option of English or Hindi only in our education system, but now the tongue is playing a very big role. We are having the learning material in different languages which we are sharing with the kids. So assessment plays a very vital role in the learning journey of a child. We used to assess earlier with the help of marks only, but now we are mapping the learning journey of a child in an academic year with the help of learning outcomes, his competencies, his skills. So at SLPS, we have divided our academic year, the learning journey of a student, in four different halves. So one is UT1, then half yearly, then UT2, then final exam. Previously, we have a little percentage of UTs or SEM 1 in half yearlies, but now these all four continuous assessment timings, they play a vital role. Each and every assessment is having its own weightage in the learning journey or the assessment of a child in a particular academic year. And this assessment is not only for one academic year, it's a continuous process. So we start from a very starting point, like in foundation or in class 1 or in 2, and we keep on mapping till class 12. And we have created different aspects of parameters of mapping these assessments through Google Classroom. Since we are Google reference school, so we are using Google Workspace in mapping all these things. Next slide, please. Now, what do we mean by holistic progress card? So it should map, the report card should map the 360-degree multi-dimensional aspect of a child. So we have self-assessment, peer assessment, teacher assessment there, as well as the parents' reflection also we include in some or other form to judge, to measure the learning journey of the child. So that is not only the assessment. We have multiple assessments, multiple types of assessments, like we have quizzes, we have role plays, group work, portfolios, we have project based learnings. So all these things, they taken together, they form the assessment of a child. Ma'am, next slide please. So here we are having three important aspects or elements of assessment: 360 degrees assessment, teacher assessment, student reflection and parent reflection. So in teacher assessment, we include multiple assessments: the skills and competencies of the child, visual and performing arts, as well as physical education. So we grade, we mark the different assignments under these heads, and then we include those in the assessment. Student reflection in the form of a student gives reflection in for each and every topic, activity, chapter and PBL, and they are creating their e-portfolios in Google Drives only, and they include their artifacts, their best work, whatever the child thinks is best work of him or her. the child is including that in portfolio. So we are creating e-portfolios there. And parent reflection, parent they reflect, we have designed different rubrics for parents to give their reflection in the form. In various activities we include parents, like student led conferences we held, gallery walks we have, regular gallery walks we have in our schools, activities in our concept plan. We plan activities which are suggested for parents. That means the parents, they have to help their kids to perform certain activities. So that way we get the reflection of the parent. Now this is the assessment, holistic assessment policy, which we are using, implementing in our school. So here we are having four basic parameters. One is formative assessment, then we have presentation skills, then portfolio, and then we have assignment. So all these formative assessments, they hold 60% of the total weightage, and 40% is for the summative assessment, which are basically the pen paper tests. So 60 are regular assessment, 60% at different intervals of time, maybe in the form of oral test or maybe oral observation, class observation by the teacher, and 40% are the four pen paper tests which we conduct at intervals of time. In of the academic year, UT1, then half yearlies, then UT2, and then finals. So these are the elements which we are using in our report card: formative assessment, presentation skills, portfolios, and assignments. And these are the different types of formative assessment, like Google Form, tech tools we include under formatives, class test, active learning strategies, experiential learning, and investigatory projects. For presentation skills, we have the presentation of collaborative work done by the child in the class in teams, maybe as homework or in PBLs. So they do set collaborative work. They are doing sitting in teams. We have fixed rubrics for the assessment of these collaborative works. Skills and competencies, we have prepared our skill grids also, age appropriate, class appropriate wise. So we are planning these all things in our concept plans. Lab observations are there, PBLs we conduct. And in portfolio, notebook work, the research based activities, the work done by the child, the best work done by the child according to the child. So assignment, we give homework assignments, then practice worksheet, as well as the revision test. So basically these are the revision work or pen paper tests we are taking in the classes. So this way the students, they give self-reflection. This we include in our reports which we share. This the child has to fill. We take these reflections in the form of Google Forms from the students for each and every activity, for each and every topic which we teach them in the class. So this is the reflection of core skills. So the child himself compares his journey from the starting till the end. So where I was and where I am at the end of the year. So these core skills which are very much required for the students are, so critical thinking, problem solving, collaborative, creativity, and analytical skills. So these are the basic core skills which a child assess themselves for their own reflection, and this we include in our reports, final annual report. So these are the samples of different classes. So you can see all the assessments are there, all heads are there. So from starting from class 3 till class 12, we are following the same pattern, since we have to go for boards class 10 and 12. So the practical work we include under the head assignment. Rest, we formative assessments is same, the continuous learning which we are the students, they are giving us in the forms of Google Forms or tech tools or some research activity. So from class 3 till class 12, we are mapping the same. The students, they are reflecting themselves about their skills, about their learning, and then we are mapping value education as well as the life skills, as well as the physical education. All we are having in Google Classroom. Different assignments are created there, and the compiled result will share here. Ma'am, next slide, please. So these you can see class level wise. The in class 11 also we are following the same pattern for all the assessments. We include SLC also and integrated PBL. As you can see in the report cards, we have SLCs. We conduct SLCs twice in a year, once in half yearlies and once in annual examination. There the child himself shares the his work in his learning journey with parents as well as the teachers, and the parents assess them according to the rubrics, and the teachers also, and the child gives his or her self reflection also. Same way we have integrated PBL for all the subjects, what the portion which the child has covered till half yearly. So same according to the rubrics, we give them the marks, because ultimately we have to find out, we convert the learning outcomes in terms of marks at the end, and then we portray that those marks in this samples in these holistic progress cards. So these are the detail of the assignments which a child is doing in his or her periodic continuous periodic test. You can see UT2 marks are there. So these assignments have been done by a child, and we share these assignments, these details with the parents, so that we can, the parent also participates in the learning journey of the child. So wherever is the learning gap or handholding is required, so we expect, we take help from the parents as well as the teachers and the parents. We together work on those learning gaps so that we can develop, or we can eliminate the learning gaps of the child. Now NCRF is there, so we have tried to map the report cards, the holistic progress card of classes 9 and 11 this year only with the NCRF credit system. So all the markings will be converted later on at the end of the year into credits, and then we will be giving them the final grades. As no more marks are required, we need to have the credit system in our system. So every thing, every assignment, every marking we are holding through Google Classrooms, and we are automating our report cards directly from the Google Classroom. So teachers only just have to assign, just have to give the marks or give the grades in the classroom only, and the report card or holistic progress card is automatically generated from there only at the end of the semester. Thank you very much for listening me.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So, Harmeet, thank you so much. It was such a comprehensive and detailed explanation of how you have created the 360-degree assessment tool, which is the holistic report card, and how you have incorporated the main tenets as defined by NEP 2020. What I really, really liked was how you have included not just the teacher assessment, which is mandated, but also peer assessment, self assessment, and self reflect and reflection by the parents about their own child's performance through the student led conferences that your school does twice in a year. So that was really good. And the fact that students are given multiple options and ways in which they can reflect their learning through this complete learning journey. So thank you so much, Harmeet. That was really, really nice. And now I would request Miss Renu Munyal to take center stage and share with us how she has created the holistic progress cards for the students of her school in the foundational stage. Over to you, Renu.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am, and good evening, audience. So here I am to decipher HPC, that is Holistic Progress Card. Uh, Everything on the CBSC website is given as the handouts. So this year they have uploaded three documents. One is the prototype for holistic development pre-primary level, and one prototype for class 1 and 2. They have also uploaded teacher handbook from where a teacher can just check out that am I going proper, am I going right, mapping my learning outcomes in the lesson plan to the parameters and then achieve the curricular goals. So right now the most of the schools, they are using the assessment pattern as mechanical and routinized. We are just having the papers, and the children are just writing the papers, and it is assessed quantitatively. So we have the marks, and this marks will judge the child's performance. Whereas, practically, if we talk about, the progress is throughout the year. The children are learning a lot of skills, not only in school, but at home and in all of the surroundings. We need to judge them accordingly. So, at the best, the assessment should be a good assessment, should measure the achievement of the competency which is being gained by a child throughout the year, and the learning outcomes should attain the curricular goal. Every year has a curriculum goal, so ultimately the child has to achieve the curricular goal. Assessment should be very constructive. It should be it should have the developmental goals achieved by the child, and the learning should be focused rather than just pen and paper with the rote learning. Assessment should be stage appropriate, that is, at the levels of pre-primary, the assessment can be done through a lot of activities in the playway method, and just by observation of the teacher can note down that how what is the progress of my child when the child had just entered the classroom, and when at the end of the year, what is the development in my child. So for that, the teacher should have the parameters listed, and every time the teacher should be marking those grade points, and at the end of the year the teacher is assessing the child according to the development which the child has shown, the progress the child has shown. Not only the teacher, the peer, the parent has to be given certain parameters, certain points where the parent is going to just check out and think over what was my child at the beginning when the child started going to school, and at the end of the session. Similarly, when they come from the pre primary to class 1, the assessment pattern should change. They should be having little more efforts into the writing, maybe coming up with whatever they have learned in the classroom, they are sharing with the peer. They are coming up with the vocabulary, they are coming up with different kinds of activities themselves. They are brainstorming, they are coming up with the ideas, the innovation things is coming into them. So all that can be assessed. So it should be accommodative with the student diversity. There are different types of children. All the children cannot have the same kind of assessment. Every child can be judged according to the different capability and the achievement the child is having. And of course, at the end, the child should get the feedback that from where to where I have achieved what, that the child will gain the self confidence. So, assessment should support a meaningful aggregation, summarization of the student learning. That is HPC. It gives the 360-degree holistic approach to the child. Now, CBSE website, there's a teacher manual over there where on page number 12, it tells you about what is holistic progress card. This holistic progress card tells you about that what are my goals, what are my, at the student point of view, if we look at the holistic progress card, it gives us the entire detail about uh, the 360-degree multidimensional progress reflects the detail, the progress of the child, uniqueness of each learner in the cognitive, affective, socio, emotional, psychomotor domains. And all this can be assessed, self assessed, peer assessed, and parent assessed, not only the teacher assessed. So, all this is holistic progress card. Now, everything in detail is explained in the CBSE teacher manual starting from page number 12. You can refer that into the website. Go to cbsc.nic.in, go to handbooks, handouts, and you can download the teacher guide over there. Now, when we talk about HPC, the learning outcomes, we'll go from bottom to the top. The lesson plan has learning outcomes. The learning outcomes, when we map it daily on daily basis or fortnightly or monthly basis, these things develop a competency in a child. And ultimately, the group of competency, through that we achieve a particular domain for the child, and that brings up to the curricular goals for the entire year. Now, HPC will list down these curricular goals and the competencies achieved by the child. So, when we look at the HPC, how do we develop this? So, there are certain aspects which CBSE wants us to do in the uh, HPC. And of course, it is very valuable for every child and every parent. So the teacher has to look into the lesson plan, check out the learning outcome, maintain a monthly observation sheet for each child in collaboration with subject teachers. Now, this can be achieved through a Google Sheet. So, in the Google Sheet, if we list down all the parameters which are mapped with your learning outcomes and make the sheet for each child, every subject teacher can fill in the grade points over there. And these grade points can be mapped with the remarks. So, suppose a child is having a grade point 3, so that child is in the progressive mode. Now, such sheets are maintained every month. At the end of the uh, term, or maybe trimester, or maybe um, second term, we can see from where to where the child has progressed. So we can check the competency achieved by the child. Not only this, the child will assess the peer also in a very small question, like we give a small questionnaire to the child. I'm talking about, say, class 1 child. If a class 1 child has been given only 4 parameters saying, and 3 smiley faces are there, as green, yellow, and say red, and the parameter says your friend helps you when you are reading a book, and the child marks yellow if the friend is helping sometime and sometimes not, and marks green smiley face when the child is always a helper. So this can be taken up as a peer assessment. The child, my friend always shares crayons with me in the class, so this shows that how friendly the child is. And after all, this is a life skill. So a peer is also assessing the child. Similarly, when we are moving through the developmental goals, we achieve the curricular goal at the end of the session, or maybe if we are taking 2 terms, term 1 and term 2. So, practically, if we look at it, the Grade points are maintained in the Google Sheet, and then through that, we can achieve the bar graph or the target report, which will go into the HPC. So let us look at the prototype of the HPC, how we go about it. Ma'am, next slide. So here is a lesson plan where the child has to identify the akshar in Hindi and then form the words out of it, that is shabd. So the teacher has to achieve this outcome, learning outcome in every child, right? Now the teacher has to assess that. So teacher has planned an activity. So we will just look at the video and check out how she maps it on the Google Sheet. Okay, I think there's some problem with the video. So here the child is having the blocks. The child will identify the akshars in Hindi. Then they have to arrange it and make words out of it, that is shabd out of it. So let's go to the lesson plan. What are the learning outcomes of the lesson plan? Next slide, ma'am. So if we look at this, the lesson plan says that the learning outcome is akshar ko pehchano and then form the shabd out of it. Now, according to this lesson plan, the teacher has put down the parameters in the Google Sheet. Now, this Google Sheet will have, suppose this is a July Google Sheet, the same Google Sheet will be copied. The sheet will be copied for every child in the classroom. And the subject teacher will put the grade point over here. Automatically, the remark will be generated by putting up the formula over here. And these parameters are listed down as mapped with the learning outcome. Now, these are the sheets which are maintained every month according to the different lesson plans. And every month, grade this parameter sheet is different. The observation sheet is different with different parameters. Then at the term end, the Nipun guidelines from the CBSE tells us that there are different domains into which the competencies can be checked. So, if I talk about a domain which helps me to know about the learning of the languages, so Hindi is the second language which we follow in our school. So, here the second language is Hindi. The competencies which are achieved is talking and listening, writing with purpose, reading with comprehension. Now, one of the listed competency over here through the parameter is forms letters correctly, uses sound symbol corresponding to write, invent, and spellings. Another one is writes words beginning with the same letter. Now, the teacher will reflect back to the July observation sheet. She will pick up parameter 1 and 2, check what was the grade point of the child there. Now, here in the report card of the child, the same grade point will not be reflected because the child has progressed through the months. Then the teacher is going to put a different grade point over here. Maybe the child has progressed very nicely and come up to the advanced level. Maybe the child has progressed a little and gone to the progressive from beginner or from progressive to proficient. And if the child is already at the advanced level, maybe the child is still in the advanced level because then the child is helping the other child. So, because that child has achieved that particular level. So, here the HPC at the term end will reflect the advancement of the child from the observation sheet to the month where we are giving the holistic progress card to the parent. So, the parent is at the beginning, knowing that what was the observation of the teacher at the beginning, and then through the months, holistic progress card is giving the achievement of the child. Next slide, ma'am. So this is a sample HPC. So we can see the samples of the HPC uploaded on the CBSC website. We can go to cbsc.nic.in, go to the handouts, and there we have holistic progress card for foundational level, that is the pre-primary level, and also 1 and 2. So they have given it beautifully, and the Nippon guidelines will help us to generate the key competencies and the parameters listed. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Renu. I think this was so interesting. And each one of us is actually going to benefit from the way you have systematically looked at the Nippon Bharat guidelines and translated them one by one to actually put the HPC into practice in your school. It reflects the progress of each child in the three different developmental goals which are mandated by Nipun Bharat, which is health and well-being, effective communication, involve learners, and connect with the immediate environment. I think due to some technical issues, we could not share your sample and the video could not play. So I'm very sorry about that. But I think, the way you have actually gone into the whole thing and then created the holistic report card has been beautifully done. I'm sure we would at some point be able to share the sample that you have created, which was really very well done. So thank you so much, Renu, for being a part of our webinar today. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. My pleasure.
Good evening, Rohan. How are you? A pleasure to have you here
Good
with
evening,
us.
Ashima ji. I'm good.
Good
Thank you so
evening.
much for calling me.
Good evening. So let me just share something about Mr. Rohan Jain. He was a little busy and has taken out time from his very, very busy schedule to be with us here today. So Rohan Jain is the Chief Operating Officer of Caboodle, and he started his career out as a commercial pilot and then moved on to take care of his family business, which he scaled exponentially within a decade. And then, witnessing the rapid evolution in the education sector, he has started his own edtech company, Caboodle, to address the issues which are prevalent today. Rote learning, teacher centric classes, and the expensive tuitions that, most parents send their students to. And he has created this platform, Caboodle, through which he's looking at providing the students across the country an equitable and effective learning environment. So thank you so much, Rohan. And over to you. I'm going to stop presenting so that you can present your screens. He has an online platform. So over to you and how you have created the holistic report card on your online platform. So let me just stop sharing. Pooja, can you stop sharing, please? Thank you so much. Go ahead, Rohan.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashma ji. I'm very happy to be here in presence of such good educators. And I was listening to Renu ji. She was talking about holistic progress card. Though we have developed a platform, we are working on the foundational level itself. Uh, but I think today this platform wants me to talk about the holistic progress card. So I'll be just talking about that. And what Renuji was saying was describing in details how holistic progress cards are to be made. So what we have done is we have taken the same thing just a notch further. We have tried to automate that so that the burden of the teacher to reduce the burden of the teachers. So if you'll allow me to present my screen, I'll start showing you how it works.
Sure, please go ahead.
Just sorry. So I have logged in as a teacher, and I'll show you how the progress card has been automated. So once the teacher clicks on the lesson plan, the entire day's flow is visible to the teachers. And it begins with circle time, art and craft, and all the activities are visible. Is my screen visible? I think it has frozen. Okay. So the lesson plan has the entire day's flow, and each and every activity has been mapped with the developmental domains as given by the NCF. So whatever learning objectives and outcomes, uh, teachers have to find out and see whether they are aligning with the domains as given by NCF. So we have done that for them. So, for example, the circle time, particular activity has covered the domains. LLD is language and literacy development 1.4, 1.6. PSCD is personal social emotional development 3.3. So these codes have been taken from NCF's book and they have been mapped accordingly. So every activity, every day, whatever the students are doing, it has been mapped to the T with NCF. Now, talking about how we generate the uh, lesson plans. I'm sorry, I think my screen is not visible. I'll do it that again. Yeah, so by doing that, we have also automated the holistic progress card and how that works. So sorry, my screen is hanging. Just give me a moment. Yes. So this is the day's flow, and each activity has learning objectives and learning outcomes for every activity. And here is how we have mapped it with the developmental domains of given by NCF. So these the circle time has is covering these domains. LLD is language and literacy development, so 1.4, 1.6. PACD is personal social emotional development. So every activity, as we progress through the day, every each and every activity has been mapped, has been done by from our end, so that it reduces the teacher's burden. Uh, then I'll cover a topic of I'll talk about a topic of numeracy circles. This is how we are generating our holistic progress card. So a topic is introduced about circles. Teacher has introduced the topic with our resources, with our books and everything. Then after introducing, the next day this concept is again taught, again reinforced. We are covering the topic 2 3 times. Once it is introduced, then it is reinforced, then another activity has been done with the topic. After 4 to 5 days, there's a golden ticket activity that appears for the teacher. So it is again the same concept. Now what happens is, instead of doing it manually, the teacher would just click on this activity. For example, the activity is again on circles. It is telling the teacher to ask the students to make them sit in a circle and put some round shaped and other shaped objects and ask the students to pick them out. A very simple activity. So while doing this, a teacher would see that this is a golden ticket activity. She would click on this, and what we have done is, our team has done is, it has made the rubric for the entire activity. So essentially, there are 4 types of learners in the classroom. We have categorized into them into needs assistance category, moving toward goals, meeting goals, and exceeding goals. So for each and every activity, we have made the rubric so that it reduces the effort, time, and burden of the teachers. So for that particular activity, the first rubric where the students teacher would observe in the classroom that some students are struggling to identify the circle. So all those students are will fall under the category of needs assistance. What she needs to do is just click on this button, NA, and the entire list of all the students in the classroom would appear. She'll just select the students and mark them. That's it. Then she'll have a look at the next category of students, recognize some circles, but may need assistance in spotting all. So she again observes, look around the classroom, which all students fall under this category. Let's say these four, and submit. Similarly, for next two categories, teacher would identify the students and keep on assigning their respective categories, assigning them into respective categories, and that's it. As she submits it, what happens is an automated generated differentiated action box will appear. So all the students, those who needed assistance, their name would appear, and a remedial activity for them would also pop up for the teacher. Similarly, the students who were exceeding, sorry, the students who were doing exceedingly well, they are also given an enrichment activity to keep them engaged. So again, the teachers need not look for differentiated activities. We have done that for them. Whoever students were in this category, the name have been given and a remedial activity and enrichment similarly. Simultaneously, what happened was teacher observed the class, marked them, and the entire the progress card of the entire class gets generated. For each and every student, we can see this is a comparative thing for the entire class. The four categories have been given: needs assistance, moving toward goal, meeting goals, and whatever student falls in whichever category in the particular topic, it appears here. And when if we click on a single student's name, this is where the magic happens. This is how the 360-degree holistic progress cards gets generated with that click only. So the school's name and school's logo with the individual student's name, as I clicked Adya Reddy. By that observation, this particular students or each and every student's progress card, 360-degree holistic progress card, has been generated, and it has been categorized into different competencies as given by Nipun Bharat. Children maintain good health and well-being, children become effective communicators, and children become involved learners and connect with their environment. So this happened with we have 4 semesters. So if we choose on the semesters, right now earlier I was showing you the first semester. If we choose on third semester, fourth semester, and all of the semester, so the progression of a child could also be seen. That where he or she was at the first semester and where they are at the last semester. So this, and we also have the similarly this detailed subjective academic progression can also be seen for each and every student. This is again categorized by different themes and different subjects, and all of this is has been automated, so to reduce the burden, reduce the work of the teacher, and help them do what they're supposed to do, what they're best at teaching. uh, these codes have been given at the top of the observation card. So for it is given here while the teacher is marking the students at the time of rubric, the MTG, NG, the codes have been given. Also, they have been given here, and if we click on the progress card, they have also been given at the bottom as of at the footnote that which students fall in the which category. So I think that is from my end. If any questions or anything, I'll be happy to take them. Thank you, Renuji.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rohan. I think it was wonderful the way you took us through your platform and how it reflected all the three developmental goals as mandated by Nipun Bharat in the first 3 years of the foundational stage. And what I really liked was that your holistic progress card, it reflects the progress of the child through the year in each of the learning objectives and outcomes that have been defined. And the well defined color coded rubrics ensures a completely fair assessment for each of the students and shows their progress, of course, all through the academic session. And you kept talking about how you want to lessen the burden for the teachers, and I think the single click generation of the holistic progress card for each student is really really wonderful, because it gives the teachers ample amount of time to actually plan their lessons, maybe add more interactive activities, and focus more on the interaction within the classroom. So I think that was really really wonderful, a well curated platform. And I think Miss Renu Munyal had some questions for you. So Piyu, if I could request you to add in Renu Munyal and Harmeet Kaur as well. So I'm sure you might have questions for each other, because each of you has dealt with different stage in a student's learning journey. So please go ahead, and I think let's have a nice discussion about it. So Renu, I think you had a few questions for Mr. Rohan, so go ahead if you'd like to ask him anything else.
Yeah. My first question was like the platform must be using some publisher books. And because you already have some lesson plan, and then you had mapped it with the learning outcomes, and then came up with the Nipun Bharat curricular goals and the competencies to achieve. So I was interested to know which publisher books you are using.
Ma'am, we have right now that I was showing was Mahat's book. So those are not essentially just the books. They have the entire curriculum plan. Books are just a resource. So just calling it a publisher would not be justifiable, if I might add, because from the very beginning, the entire lesson plans, how it should flow through the entire day, what all activities, not only in the books, but hands on activities, all the experiential learning, mapping them with NCF's domains, then mapping it with the holistic progress card. It is much more than what publishers are doing. Books are just a resource that are to be used, let's say, once or twice in a day. Rest everything is hands on, what NEP and Nipun Bharat is saying.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Rohan.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Rohan. So I'll just add to that. It is the Create curriculum, and Mahatatva not publishers. We actually handhold the schools through the year, and it's a curriculum which has been curated, by picking up the education systems of Singapore and Finland and England, and then contextualized to the Indian context, and they're completely aligned to the NEP and the NCF. So that is what is now being added onto the Caboodle platform. So thank you, Rohan. That was a comprehensive explanation. Harmeet, anything that you would like to ask or add?
Yes, ma'am. I am having, first of all, kudos to you, Rohan sir, because I am also there. Means as a leader, we should think about teachers. So you have done it. I appreciate that key to lessen the burden of teachers. Thank you very much for that. My one question, simple question. So, do we have this platform for middle classes or for senior, or only for the foundational ones?
When presently it is only for foundational years, though it is a platform. It could be later on. We just have to add on the curriculum. That is it. A platform is made, but presently we are working for the foundation. We are working in the foundational segment only, and then after the teacher uses them, if they find it ease of use, it feels that yes, it is really helpful, then we would really want to in the future take this up to the higher classes.
Thank you very much, sir.
So I think I must appreciate the fact that all three of you are so passionate about education, and you have such a technological bent of mind that all of you are automating the processes in your respective schools and platforms ensuring that the burden of the teachers is actually going down. Because in the last few years, I have seen how much work a teacher needs to do. Her workday does not end when she leaves the school. It is just the beginning, because she needs to go on back home and probably either correct assignments, or she's looking at taking off the mandatory 50 hours of professional development that she needs to do as per CBSE, or she is creating a lesson plan where she's adding her own input into it, deciding on an activity, preparing the resource materials. So taking this away from her, the calculation part of it, and generation of the rubrics, or generating even a pen picture, if that is taken away from her and it is automated, it actually leaves her with a lot of time to focus on the other aspects of her teaching in the school. So I think that is really, really brilliant. And Rohan, do you have any questions for Miss Renu Munyal or Miss Harmeet Kaur?
No, I actually don't have any question, but I want to add something, that what made us make this program and automation, since everybody is appreciating that we are trying to reduce the burden of teachers, reduce their workload, because we also feel we had been in this industry for very long, and we felt that with the advancement of technology, it is everywhere. But why not in education? Why not in teaching? Why not use it rather than just going online classes and offline classes? Considering that as technology in classroom is what we thought is not it. In every field there is so much. We used to go to banks, we used to go to a taxi stand to book taxis, but right now everything is at the click of a button. We used to go to shopping mall, we still do, but shopping is also done online with very much ease. So why not in this? Our classrooms still look like they used to look 100 years back. So we want to change that. We want to bring in something and make more success stories rather than just teacher focusing on the classroom and completing the curriculum or syllabus.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you. It has been a pleasure to actually be here in this webinar and actually learn from all of you as to how you have, in your own respective schools and platforms, actually translated the holistic report card. So thank you, holistic progress card. Thank you so much. Thank you, Harmeet. Thank you, Renu, and thank you, Rohan. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day. Bye bye.
Thank
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.